Hey guys, hey Jay. I think there's a few people watching. I only see Jay in the chat, but it looks like there are a few people in here. So before I get started, there's something I would like to say. And no, I'm not, for those of you that were in the live stream last night, I am not going to go over the gory details of what transpired during the, hey Darren, what transpired during that particular live stream, because I've already heard enough about it and I don't want to retread that. So what I'm about to say is not directed at any one person. It's just a general blanket statement, so please don't take offense, especially you, Darren, because you weren't even in the live stream last night that I know of. But I just want to let everybody know, if you're in here for any other reason other than to be entertained, you are in here for the wrong reason. And that's all I'm going to say about it, and I'm going to leave it there. X-Ray, you say Q&A, huh? Here's my question, Darren. The cabinets, they finished? No, X-Ray, they are not. I wish that I could tell you that they are, but I think I'm going to have to wait for cooler weather before I go out in that damn garage and finish up those cabinets. Darren, you said, what did I miss? Well, Darren, as I said, I have agreed with other parties that I am not going to go over this anymore. There are certain things, I guess, that are just taboo to express your opinion on. And I am a very opinionated person. So I'm just going to play it safe from now on and just talk about certain things and not give my opinions on anything other than the movies I'm talking about. So I do apologize for not going over that for those of you that weren't in here last night. But feel free to watch that live stream because I'm going to leave it up. I'm not going to take it down or anything. But I just wanted to just make that clear for anybody that might have had other ideas in the live stream last night other than being entertained. Like I said, that's just a blanket statement, and I don't mean any particular offense toward anyone. X-Ray, you're saying shit. What happened? I'm just X-Ray. I'm choosing just not to talk about it. You say never mind. LOL. Ben, you say what's a movie that came out in the last 3 years that I'd recommend? The last 3 years. Well, here's one that just popped into my head. I was thinking, oh, am I going to be able to come up with one? But Malignant would definitely be one that I would recommend. Now, people have been, in two camps about Malignant. Some people really, really like it. Some people don't. Some people don't really understand what all the excitement is about. But I personally, Steve and I both liked it. We liked the music in it. We liked the way, the style, the way it was. I don't want to say that it was super stylish, but the atmosphere, all of that, the twist. I thought it was all really worked. So yeah, Ben, I would definitely pick Malignant. And if this is going to be kind of a, throw whatever at me and see what sticks, a sort of live stream. And I will answer these things as best I can, but sometimes when you do these Q&As, and this is the first time I've ever done a Q&A, so I might not be fully prepared for the amount of questions that could be asked of me. So just bear with me a little bit. Texas, is it time to party? Darren, you say, okay, Dana, all good. X-Ray, you say, Malignant was too out there for basic horror plebs. Yeah, I would say that you would have to be... X-Ray, you would have to be a die-hard horror fan, I think, to appreciate it. Maybe even somebody that... I'm not saying that you have to be like super intelligent or anything. I'm not going to go in that realm. But I would think that you would probably have to like some of the Italian horror. The ones where not everything entirely makes sense. To really be able to appreciate the film. I'm not saying that you couldn't watch it. I'm not saying it's... I definitely wouldn't refer to it as, the quote-unquote elevated horror. But I think for diehard horror fans that have seen a wide variety of horror films, I think you will really, really enjoy it. Ben, you say you are a fan of Malignant too. Jay, you say, oh my, the Malignant discussion. Texas, you say, Malignant was great, sort of like Basket Case a bit. I hadn't thought of that, Texas, but yeah, I could definitely see that. Ben, you say it reminded me of Body Parts. X-Ray, you say, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to appreciate Malignant. The horror is very subtle. I mean, I could understand that, X-Ray. I'm just not so sure if I'd be willing to go that far with the horror being subtle. But, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. X-Ray, you said, Malignant felt more like that 80s Japanese film Evil Dead Trap. Very similar. Oh, yeah, Evil Dead Trap. Nobody's brought that one up in a while, but that is a very, very gory, very bizarre, kind of sadistic type of film. So, yeah, I could see similarities between the two there as well. y'all can continue to put questions in there. I just wanted to let everybody know that I have now created my own sort of like, I guess, fan page. Well, I don't know if I want to call it a fan page, but a support page is better, because I don't want to say I have fans, but I have like supporters of my live stream. So I have created a Facebook page called Deadites on Deck, just like my live streams are titled. And that is where, from here on out, I'm going to be advertising the live streams. So there were several of my friends on Facebook that I thought might be interested, and so I sent them an invite. Darren, I did send you one. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it or not. Some people have already liked the page. Of course, those of you that are already subscribers to my channel, I think you already get notifications, maybe through email or whatever, when I'm going to have a live stream. But this is just another way for me to promote my live streams. I know this was kind of an impromptu one, and I do apologize for that. But I will be doing a more structured one tomorrow. We're going to have our Cheese Extreme Wednesday. And final exam is definitely one that we're going to be covering. So I also have links to several different things in the description for the video. So feel free, if you're not my friend on Facebook, or for whatever reason I didn't send you an invite, it wasn't purposely done. You can click on the link and you can go to the page and you can like it. And I don't think I have it set up in such a way that you guys can't come on there and post things and promote your own stuff if you want to. I know there are several of you that are starting to do your own live streams, so feel free to come on the Deadites on Deck page and promote your live streams or your podcast or whatever. I'd be glad to have you on there. And there are also some other links to my Etsy shop, my Morbid Beauty Boutique shop, TeePublic, for my Deadites on Deck shirts. I'm actually working on another TeePublic shop that is going to have some Blood Lake, especially little Tony shirts. As soon as I can get those the designs created and stuff like that, I'll let y'all know when those are available. So there's several links there. There's a link to my actual YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed and you're interested in subscribing. So that's about all the housekeeping stuff I've got. But I did want to make it clear that from here on out I will be advertising on my own Facebook page and not on anybody else's pages for my live streams. Let's see. Actually, you say Malik. Oh, okay. I'd already read that one. Sorry. Actually, you say favorite horror OSTs. I don't mean licensed song. I mean scores. A lot of my favorite scores, X-Ray, tend to be, this is probably no surprise to those of you that know me pretty well. A lot of Italian like scores, or just foreign scores in general. I'm a huge fan of Goblin. I actually got to see the original Goblin band minus Simonetti in Cincinnati a few years ago, and I also got to see Simonetti's Goblin here in Louisville. So that was a huge treat for both Steve and I to see both bands, Simonetti's incarnation of the current incarnation of Goblin, and also to see the original band members in Cincinnati. But I also like, I just got the Carrie soundtrack from Waxworks in. It is awesome. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is awesome. I mean, there are just so many that I love. I even like those. Some people make fun of the synth scores and stuff like that, but a lot of those I like as well. I like John. I love John Carpenter's stuff. Halloween, Christine, all those different ones. Let's see. Darren, you say yes, I liked it. Jay, you say apologies, no Facebook for me. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay. But if you are subscribed to me or subscribed to my channel, like I said, you should get alerts like through the email or whatever when when I have a live stream scheduled. Um, Hey, John, you say, yo, all, what did you think of Curse of La La Lorna? It sucks, haha. I, for some reason, I'm thinking that was a movie that Steve watched, and from what I can recall about it, I didn't much care for it. So I think I'm in the same camp as you, John. Um, Uncle Bill is asking, Deep Red versus Suspiria versus Fulci's Zombie. Decide. Oh, dang. Uncle Bill or Aaron. That's hard. I guess I'm going to have to go with Deep Red, though, even though I love all three of those. X-Ray, you say, I saw Goblin with Simonetti. It's funny. He still has that 80s mullet haircut in his family when they were selling merch after the concert. Um, Darren, you said that Tenebrae score is incredible. Oh, yes. Tenebrae definitely has an awesome score. The Jallo documentary on the new Hour release was pretty good. I'm really looking forward to it. I guess I'm not going to get mine until August 9th, sadly. But, getting it then is better than not getting it at all, I guess. Hey, Menelect. Hey, Dirk. X-Ray, you say, Suspiria is in my top 5 movies, period. But if it didn't exist, Deep Red would be my favorite Argento. I've noticed a lot of people tend to, I'm a little bit hesitant to say prefer, but that's what it seems like, that they prefer Suspiria to Deep Red. But I've always had a special place in my heart for Deep Red. But Tenebrae almost edges both of those things out. And Steve always looks at me kind of strangely when I say that about Tenebrae, like he doesn't really think it's as worthy as like Deep Red and Suspiria. So y'all feel free to keep those questions coming. I'm primed up on caffeine and everything. I'm ready to go. Um, Jay, you say, which Tenebrae UHD box art did I order? I think it was the one with the chick. I want to say the chick maybe that gets the pages of the book stuffed in her mouth. Hold on just a second here. I think I probably didn't have a choice when I ordered it from Amazon. But yeah, this is the, I don't know if you can see that good. It's kind of hard to see there, but that's an image from Amazon there. You can kind of tell what that is. But like I was saying last night, I wish now that I just went on and paid the extra money and got it from Diabolic or Arrow or something, because people are getting theirs now and I'm still having to wait on mine. Let's see. Darren, you say Suspiria is my favorite Argento film, and a lot. I hear a lot of people say that, Darren. I just, I love Suspiria. I think it has great atmosphere. It is a great horror movie. But I always have liked Deep Red better. Just a little bit better. There's something about Deep Red. John, you say, what is a movie Steve loves that you don't like as much? Oh, that's easy. I could name 100 of them probably, but one that we and I hate to say we got in an argument over it, but one was Wolf Cop. I absolutely cannot stand that movie, and I still won't watch it. Would you want me to mention? Would you want me to mention another one? Because like the Evil Dead remake, Steve loves it and I don't. Hereditary, even though I promised you guys that I would go back and watch Hereditary again at some point. Actually, you say best horror redneck family. Would Texas Chainsaw Massacre count? Does that count as a redneck family? I hope it does, because that is pretty much what I would want to pick. John, you say best direct-to-video horror movie from the 90s. Oh, dang! I'm trying to think of direct-to-video horror in the 90s, and I'm just freaking drawing a blank here. Y'all got some good questions tonight, I will say that. Let me hold on just a second, guys. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Good Lord, huh? Oh, no, that's a documentary. That's not really gonna... Well, all I'm getting is this crazy documentary. Let's try this here. Well, I was just... Okay, let's look at this list from IMDb. This has got some 80s stuff in here. Let's get to the 90s here. Well, we're getting there. So one of the Puppet Masters is on here. Ghoul School. Trying to find one that really stands out for me. Some of these I haven't even seen, but I would kind of like to. Some of these look like they'd be a real trip, actually. Yeah, well, you know what? From this list that I'm looking at, I'd be tempted to say Uncle Sam. Because I used to didn't much care for Uncle Sam, but Joe Bob recently showed it on the last drive-in. And I was like, this actually isn't too bad. So that would definitely be in my wheelhouse as far as 90s direct to video horror, John. X-Ray, you say Deep Red, pound for pound, has the best, most fleshed out characters of any Argento film. Yeah, I think I could agree with that because it's one of those movies that kind of lets you get to know the characters. David Hemmings, his character in Deep Red, of Mark, I love that guy, and I love the way that him and Daria Nicoletti play off each other. And I even like those extra comedy scenes, which some people don't care for, but I just think it adds a little extra oomph to the film. Um, Dirk, you say Tenebrae is my favorite Argento, and like I said, Tenebrae is very much at the top of my list. It almost edges out Deep Red and Suspiria, but not quite. But I do love it so much. Um, Darren, you say I love Deep Red, but it don't make my top 5 Argento films. Texas, you say Wolf Cough 8, I'm out. Oh, come on. X-Ray, you say best direct to VHS for me was Mosquito. Shit was dank. uh, yeah, Mosquito is a fun one. I haven't seen it in a while though. X-Ray, you said Mosquito has an RV chase scene with Gunnar Hansen shotgunning giant killer mosquitoes. Yeah, how could you lose with that kind of film? X-Ray, you say second for me was Carnosaur 2. X-Ray, you say third. Fuck it, Rumpelstiltskin. John, you say you need to see Mosquito. 1994. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the year I graduated from high school. Man, just reminds me of how old I am. Texas, you say they just added a movie called Mosquito, so it probably is. John, you say how many VHS do y'all have now? I've asked before, I bet. I think at this point, I'm not sure about Steve, but I think as of now, John, I probably have maybe a handful of VHS. I think there may be some more VHS that I neglected to take with me when I moved out of my parents' house. Because my mom tells me there's still some Tar t-shirts and all different kinds of things that I kind of left behind or did not have the room in the U-Haul to take to Louisville with me. And I guess they've got them in safekeeping for me. So there very well could be some VHS at my mom and dad's. But I don't have a whole lot. Texas, unfortunately, I can't say that I'm a GWAR or GWAR fan. They are a band, correct? That shows you how out of the loop I am with some of this stuff. But if they are a band, I don't think that I have ever listened to any of their music. Maybe I need to try that. Wow, Darren, you say you still have hundreds of VHS, all boxed up, mostly rare stuff, pre-certs and films not on DVD. Cool. Dirk, you say X-Ray, that's got to be the Slaughter Family, 74, hands down. X-Ray, you say, I still have a bunch, but I haven't watched VHS in over a decade. Shit's covered in dust and mouse droppings by now. And Texas, you say, yes, Dana. Okay, so they are a band. Darren, you say, how many posters do everyone have? I have a handful of posters. Now, I don't know if Steve has a count of the number of posters that he has, but I can just look over here and see his collection of posters, and I don't know. He could have 50 there. eyeballing them over there and trying to gauge how many there might be. But again, I have just a very few posters. And I was stupid with posters when I first started getting posters and didn't really think of the collectability of them. And so I put pinholes in them, put them on my wall, things like that. And some of them got kind of mangled when I got ready to move to Louisville, sadly. But I have gotten other posters since I moved, and those, of course, are in the plastic sheets with the cardboard backers and stuff. And so now my stuff is more protected, thankfully. Jay, you say Texas War is fantastic. Not much of a fan after the original creator and lead singer died, though. John, you say I've got maybe 15 or so. You probably still got more than me, John. But like I said, you guys keep, or you don't have to keep putting questions in there, but if you want to ask me anything, that's great. If we just want to comment back and forth or talk about different movies, that's fine as well. Wow, John, you have way more VHS than I have too. You say you have about 250 or so. Like when I was really, when VHS was all there was, I had a lot. And then early on in getting DVDs, I still had a lot of VHS, but it has since tapered off where I don't hardly have, like I said, I've got maybe a handful of VHS. Johnny, you say, but I went hard on collecting VHS. Darren, you say, I haven't bought a poster in a year or two. I was pretty hardcore for a while. You can't get anything cheap on eBay no more. No, you cannot. And you can't get anything cheap anymore, really, including food, unfortunately. You go to the grocery store and it's $5 or $6 for a pound, just a pound of ground beef. Which just seems insane to me. Johnny said, my friend and I find a lot in Tennessee and North Alabama. It's all about hunting, but it takes a long time. Yeah. I mean, Steve told me about a time when he and I think CK and Uncle Bill and some other people went to some guy's garage here in Louisville, and the guy, I don't think the guy truly knew what he had because they got a lot of really cool movie posters, some horror, for, a song, in my opinion. They may disagree with me. Maybe they paid more than I thought they did for some of them, but I thought they got pretty good deals. John, you say, I often find shit week to week. You say, I mean, I don't find shit for weeks. Word that weird. I got you. I was trying to think if there was anything I wanted to bring up, like in between y'all asking questions. Oh goodness. Oh. Oh, we got quite a few viewers in here. That's good. Oh, yes. Dead Pit's poster collections are insane. I don't know, that would be something you'd have to ask CK and Uncle Bill. But I don't know if their posters if they've had to condense their collections. I know Uncle Bill talks about a lot of his stuff is in storage. So it could be possible that some of his posters are in storage as well. But again, that would be something that you would have to specifically ask them about. Texas, you say, I just had an epiphany. A Curly Sue remake with Old Curly Jaws. And by the way, Old Curly Jaws is not in here tonight. Unless he's just kind of watching and not chatting. which is, possible, and it's cool with me. Oh, guys, I am so sorry. Oh, may have to get me some of that coffee drink. Actually, I think I will. If y'all will bear with me a minute, I'll put on that lovely Evil Dead background for you. Okay, I'm back again. I may have to get up in a Brandon, thankfully, bless his heart, is asleep. Maybe he'll get some rest. Um, but I may have to get up and get me a snack. I'm thinking more along the lines of like movie theater, microwave popcorn. Because I think my blood sugar might be getting a little low again. You know what you say? Did you and Steve keep a lot of your DVDs? I've tried to sell most of mine. Well, I'm just looking over here. Steve has quite a few DVDs still left. I have like 2 shelves of DVDs that are like double or triple shelved. And I had to move some out to the garage. So I have quite a few. I mean, I know when I moved to Louisville, there was box after box of DVDs. I think Steve got tired, like us lifting these boxes of those bankers boxes, whatever they're called. I think it's bankers boxes. I had several of those just chock full of DVDs when I moved in with Steve. Um, Darren said most DVDs are now sadly worth nothing. I've kept most of mine because it's hard to shift them. Yeah, I understand that. John, you say you never know, Darren. They may become worth something one day. Texas say, Dirk, I was going to tell you I filled a garbage bag about a quarter full of those Severin peanuts. Oh, jeez. Severin and their peanuts, I tell you. Styrofoam peanuts. I don't know what's worse, those or like when you get something like we got a new wardrobe in that I'm still working on putting together. That had these big styrofoam sheets in it, and like every time I touched it or tried to get one of the pieces of the wardrobe out of the box, it would get flakes of this styrofoam all over the place, and that stuff is murder to get picked up. I wish they could find something else to protect the stuff that wasn't so dang messy. I got so tired of vacuuming up little styrofoam pieces. But I did want to say again, for those of you that came in a little later, if you didn't hear me say about my advertising and promoting of the live streams, I just wanted to remind everybody again, from here on out, I will only be advertising on my Deadites on Deck Facebook page. That link should be in the description for this video. So if you didn't, for whatever reason, get sent an invite from me, if you do utilize Facebook, sadly Jay does not, but if you do utilize Facebook, you're welcome to like the page, and you can post things on the page. Feel free to promote your own stuff. I just didn't want anybody looking anywhere else for my advertisement or my promotions and say, oh, where did Dana's promotions for live streams go? Well, they're going to be there, and then I'll probably post them on my personal Facebook page as well, just to have two different ways to promote it. John, you say, do y'all buy NECAs? I do sometimes. Like, I've got, I can pull this one down here. I don't know if I've showed y'all these. But these things have gotten so damn expensive now. But these are probably the latest ones I bought. The Laurie from Halloween 2, and then Dr. Loomis from Halloween 2. And this was like a 2-pack. And it cost me like $70 from Target. Those suckers are just... And then I think the single ones are like probably about 40. And Steve got me this one. He got me Tater Sack Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. So that's probably the newest ones I've got. Let's see. Darren, you said, what other film apart from Final Exam are you covering tomorrow? You know, I'm drawing a blank, Darren, but hold on just 1 second, okay? Okay, guys, sorry for the delay. I decided to go ahead and heat up my popcorn, so you may hear the popcorn popping in the background there. Let's see. Darren, in answer to your question, The Forest is the other movie that I'm going to be covering for Cheese Extreme Wednesday. So we got Final Exam and The Forest. Uncle Bill, you want to know what's the one film that Steve and I disagree on the most? Gosh, Uncle Bill, there's so many of them. I was talking about Wolf Cop earlier. We actually got into an argument over that one because Steve said I was just going on and on about how much I hated it, and it was driving him crazy. But there have been so many. I can't really pick one that we have disagreed on the most because he loves the Evil Dead remake. I hate it. Hereditary, even though I said that I would watch it again and I haven't. A lot of the new stuff, a lot of it he really enjoys and I hate it. Now, there are some of them that we both dislike. Like the one that I can't really remember the name of it. I brought it up before. I believe it was on Shudder. And it was directed by a woman, so it could have had, in my eyes, it could have had potential, but instead they chose to make a piece of crap. It was the one where the woman, every night, she sees a guy break into her house and she has to kill him, and then he comes back the second night and the third night, and it just goes on, and the movie is just complete nonsense. I don't even really know what they were trying to say on that. John, you say, you and Steve need to get on Instagram. It's good for finding media and sharing reviews. I think I am on Instagram. I haven't been on there in a while, but I'm not sure about Steve if he's on Instagram or not. X-Ray, you say, man, I bet Steve has done strange things with that Loomis figure. Well, actually, I tell you, he's not done strange things with the Loomis figure in himself, but he was like trying to make a thing like Laurie and Dr. Loomis were having sex, and it was like, that is just weird beyond words, Steve. You got to stop with that. I mean, but then I found myself laughing because he was trying to talk like Donald Pleasant. He was, oh, Laurie. It's like, but after a while, it was like really creepy and like I didn't want to hear it anymore. But X-Ray, you say, you can swap that Jason's machete with a pistol accessory and it'll turn them into the Texarkana Phantom. Yeah. Darren, you say, I can't start collecting NECA figures. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be able to eat. Yeah, if I bought too many of these, I would go into major debt. I wanted to get the Donald Pleasance and Michael Myers double pack from Halloween 2, and I was like, nah, I can't really spend an extra $70. John, you say, same, Darren. I sold all my toys and converted to records and movies. John, you say, I had to pick and toys lost, huh? Hey, old Curly Jaws. You say, you need to rewatch the Evil Dead remake. It's a classic. Yeah, I know you say that, old Curly Jaws, but I just can't make myself watch it. I just can't. Darren, you say, UB Torso would be one they disagreed on the podcast. Oh, yes. Yes, Darren. That is right. We didn't get in an argument over it, but... and that was one that Darren was surprised that I didn't like. I do remember that as well. It kind of shocked him that I did not like it. But I smell my popcorn, so it's not, do you smell what The Rock's cooking? Do you smell what Dana's cooking? And Dana's cooking popcorn, so I'm going to go grab it real quick. I'm going to make Texas leave because, like, he's saying torso hate. I'm out. You aren't going to leave, are you, for real, Texas? Make sure you say best slasher and space sequel. Jason X, Leprechaun 4 in space, or Hellraiser 4. I'd probably have to say Leprechaun 4. Actually, because it would just have to be more entertaining than the other two. And John, you say, I almost got that Piper They Live figure until I saw it was $34 at Target. Too damn high. Yeah. Steve did get the, I think he got 2 different versions of the, oh shoot, what's it call it? McCready. Yeah, the McCready figure, the Kurt Russell figure from The Thing, from John Carpenter's The Thing, because he got one version of it, and then he got the version where you've got the hat too. So he spent extra bukus of money on those two. Extra, Darren, you say X-ray neither. Texas, you say, of course not. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry to be eating on this live stream and drinking my coffee drink. You're probably thinking, that is so gross. She's eating buttered popcorn and drinking an iced coffee drink. John, you say, I may get the Bon Scott and Angus Young figures coming in fall. Oh, yeah, those will be cool. Texas, you say, did you ever see Bag Boy, Lover Boy? I have not. I honestly can say I have not seen that, Texas. I'm thinking maybe Uncle Bill's going to get the Bon Scott figure. It sounds like he might. But Target is definitely the place to go if you want to get those NECA figures, because they always invariably have some NECA figure. Now, the Thing figures, I think Steve got those from Walmart. Texas, you say it's a great deranged piece of trash. Sounds like it might be right up my alley, because sometimes deranged pieces of trash are exactly what I want to watch. I'm being serious about that. So, do y'all have any more burning questions for me? Or, dudes, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Trying to think of something I could bring up. So, are you guys looking forward to Cheese Extreme Wednesday tomorrow with final exam in the forest? I am. I don't know if you would really call it collecting the steel books, Dan. We kind of pick and choose ones that we like the artwork on them. If they have really cool artwork, we'll get them. And we've got to like the movie too. I mean, if it was a shitty movie but had cool artwork, I don't think either of us would buy one. So I don't know. I guess we're not hardcore collectors of steelbooks, no. Okay, Uncle Bill, you say, here's a question. Who's your favorite singer, hard rock band? My favorite singer. Well, you guys might laugh, but I would have to say my all-time favorite singer was John Lennon when he had his solo career. I mean, he was awesome in the Beatles, and I love the Beatles. But there was just something about the solo career that uh, John Lennon had that was just, in my eyes, was amazing. So I would have to say he is my favorite singer. And, if he was still alive today and was touring, you better believe I'd be at a concert. I did go see Paul McCartney a few, was it a year or two ago, maybe? And hard rock band. I'm trying to think, because there's a few that I like, but AC/DC might have to be at the top of my list if we're talking about hard rock bands. John, you said, do y'all have pet insurance and do you recommend it? I know that's random, but after last week, I am. I've considered it, and I probably really should get it, John. Because, I have dogs that are getting older. Like Brandon's about 15, or we think he's about 15. Brink's getting older. Sammy's getting older. Reg is starting to get he's starting to get some gray in his face, and we've had Reggie since he was 9 months old. Darcy is my youngest, but that doesn't really mean anything. You could have emergency situations even with a young one. But so John, have you got pet insurance now? Because the question I have for you is, which one did you pick? Because when I was looking at them, it's like, it was, I know I would do just about anything in the world for my pets, but it was like the ones that I was looking at to get the good coverage, it cost more than health insurance for me and Steve. And I was like, I can't do this. Darren, you say Bifford. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say, do you like Motley Crue? Me personally, I've never been a big fan of Motley Crue. Some of their stuff might be okay. Like, I can listen to something like Dr. Feelgood or something. But a lot of their stuff I don't really care for. John, you say, I don't have it. Duke is 3, but everyone recommends it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it really doesn't matter how old they are. At any point in time, you could have an emergency situation. Uncle Bill, you say, nah, that's a good one. Lennon was great. Well, I'm glad you agree with me on that. Steve, if Steve came in and I was playing my John Lennon records, he'd probably tell me to turn that crap off. But Steve likes Shinedown and stuff. People laugh at him for liking Shinedown, which I don't mind Shinedown. Some of their stuff is okay. Darren, you say Theater of Pain is a good album. John, you say, yeah, for real. Minor things can turn into major money. Oh, yeah. I mean, Brandon, bless his heart, he had, eye infections, a double ear infection, and that ended up costing us so much money because it was several different vet visits that we had to make. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say, you need to do a double feature film night for a stream. Hatchet 2 and Hatchet 3 hang hotter would approve. He probably would. But The only thing about that, old Curly Jaws, is if we did do that, we'd probably have to do it like a watch along, like we did for The Burning, and not actually stream the movie. Because what will happen, I know what will happen. If I tried to stream those movies through YouTube, I'd get copyright strikes out the wazoo. So it's better to play it safe, because you never know what they're going to pick on. Is if you just play it safe and have everybody watch the movie on their own, or give them a link if it's on YouTube, and you don't actually stream it yourself on your channel. That way it's, it's your safety net there. But yeah, I would probably consider that. I think we've got watch-alongs lined up till sometime at the beginning of the year. But I never want my light, so I may put the other battery in here in a little bit. Actually, you say, yo, Dana, you like hip-hop? Were NWA and Tupac big in your part of Kentucky? They maybe were, but I've never been into hip-hop, X-Ray, so I couldn't really tell you how popular they were. Darren, you say, Curly Jaws, the only good thing about Hatchet 2 or 3 is they're better than 4. Uncle Bill, you said, there's not much worse than Victor Crowley. Say, God damn. X-Ray, you say, Dana, who's more annoying horror celeb, Eli Roth or Adam Green? Okay, here's the thing. I used to be super annoyed by both Eli Roth and Adam Green. And after Joe Bob had Eli Roth on his show, albeit it was like through a video feed, and I started watching the Halston show that Adam Green is on. I kind of mellowed about both of those guys. So I can't say out of those two that one is more annoying than the other. But, yeah, that's a good point, Uncle Bill. You never hear anything about Adam Green anymore. He was hot for a minute, and then you don't really hear anything about him. John, you say, Dana, what's your least favorite movie genre or films? My least favorite. I don't know if I could say that I've got a least favorite. I mean, if you can consider like elevated horror, like a subgenre of horror films, that would probably be it. But I mean, I like comedies. I like dramas. I even like musicals. I like horror movies. I like suspense. I like thrillers. I like sci-fi. So, I'm not really picky as far as that goes. John, you say, yeah, you're right. Adam Green is a ghost these days. X-Ray, you say, I only hear about Adam Green doing commentary for movies he was never involved in. Yeah, that's true, too. John, you say, I was surprised Ty West made a comeback. He was in that 2010 era of new filmmakers. Yeah. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say, why not take Victor Crowley to space? Might be interesting. I mean, Kane Hodder will be playing another character that actually went to space. Texas, you say, Adam Green lost the plot, selling out to do Kong versus Godzilla. It seems like a lot of directors over time, even directors that I really, really respect, it seems that they sold out. They sold out to the Hollywood machine, sadly. Um, or they didn't sell out, but they had to, they were kind of forced out by the Hollywood machine that kind of chewed them up and spit them out. Yeah, Darren, you're right about that. Eli Roth is a fellow horror fan. Is pretty cool in interviews, right? Um, just his movie making, I can't stand. Yeah, and I didn't even, like I've said before, I didn't even mind Cabin Fever. I was kind of excited about Cabin Fever, and I can still watch it. I don't want to watch it every day or anything, but the Hostel movies just completely turned me off. I was like, what in the hell? You know, of course, Steve goes on about them because you got naked chicks and stuff like that in them. And of course, I'm not interested in that. Texas, you say, I loved Your Next. And then he did that shitty Blair Witch remake. X-Ray, you say, Cabin Fever was one 90-minute long N-word joke. LOL. Well, some people would say Tarantino movies are that. Oh, Curly Judge, you say, Adam Green and people that are off need a team up. You co-directed Evil Dead movie called Evil Dead Homecoming. Well, you never know. They might. Oh, Curly Jaws. Oh, yes. The Green Inferno was awful, Darren. I completely agree with you on that. You were really looking forward to it. I was just, I was very wary of that movie. I was like, again, you know how I talk about some movies, the time for certain movies has come and gone, sadly. Um, and I think the time for those cannibal movies has come and gone. I think they've pretty much ran the gamut, in my opinion, on those movies. X-Ray, you say, gonna get shit for this. I'm starting to think Demons is the better demonic possession splatter flick of the 80s. Well, no, I wouldn't give you shit for it, X-Ray. And, you know, it doesn't really bother me that you say better than Evil Dead. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Evil Dead trilogy, but I do like, you know, hearing different opinions. Like I always tell Curly Jaws, you know, I laugh sometimes at the stuff he says, but he is entitled to his own opinion, as are you, as is anybody. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say it was supposed to say Adam Green and Eli Roth. I got you. That's okay. I mistype a lot of times. In Texas, you say, so many people leaving the theater when I saw it. Well, people left the theater when I went to see The Devil Inside. Me and Steve went to see that. And, was it The Devil Inside? I think it was The Devil Inside. But there were so many movies like that came out at the same time. But that was the one time that I actually saw people get up and walk out of a movie. And I didn't really think that movie was that bad. Steve didn't care for it at all. But, you know, that was the one and only time I can remember that people actually got up and walked out of a movie. Oh, Curly Jaws, you said the Demons remake was great. Texas, you say, Curly Jaws, how's your script going for Texas Chainsaw Massacre in space? I would really like to see a script like that if old Curly Jaws ever does get it done. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say, oh, it's going. X-Ray, you say, Daner, when are we going to get that Monsters trailer reaction? Might as well do it tonight. Oh, gosh, I don't think so. X-Ray, I mean, I'm going to try to do it. But I've just been feeling so shitty the last couple of days that I think after the live stream's over, I'm going to go and take me a nice hot shower, get into my pajamas, and put my feet up and just watch some horror movies or something. Hexes, you say his trailer was good. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say do it tonight. Come on, oh, Curly Jaws, throw me a bone here. I'll have to do that for you guys, but don't let me forget. But I just don't think it's going to be tonight. You think I should put Carrie 2013 on old Curly Jaws? I don't know. I probably need to rewatch good old Final Exam and The Forest. Actually, I need to finish watching The Forest because I don't think I ever finished it. So y'all got any more burning questions for me? This has been fun so far. You guys have asked a variety of questions. Had been just like the same stuff. And we've been pretty steady with about 10 or 11 people in here. That's massive for me. Darren, you say, I think I've only ever gotten 20 minutes into The Forest. Yeah, I don't know. There's, I know CK likes it really well, but I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to finish it up. Even if I have to finish it during my lunch break tomorrow. Oh, Curly Jaw's never going to let me live it down if I don't watch the Bye Bye Man. Well, you know, the way I've been feeling, my health has not been great since I had COVID. So I'm not saying I want to put something on back and ignore, because I don't really want to ignore it. But I want to watch something that doesn't take too much brain power. And so Final Exam is just entertaining enough for me. But yet, it doesn't take a lot of brain power, which is what I need to do. I just need to be able to zone out and kind of focus on the entertaining aspects of a movie and just forget about anything else. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say CK also likes shit like Madman. Well, I like Madman too, but I disagree with CK in the fact that I like The Burning better. Darren, you say if you value your time, please don't watch a Bye Bye Man. So I take it that Darren doesn't think too much of that movie. So let me ask you guys a question. Are y'all, I mean, I'm not bragging on my background, but are you guys digging this cabin background? I mean, is this something that you would like me to stick with for some time to come? Because, I'm digging it. But I didn't know what everybody else thought. Oh, Curly Joshy said, listen, the Bye Bye Man deserves a 5-disc 4A special edition. Damn. That's high praise, old Curly Jaws. um, where'd Uncle Bill go to? He kind of just slipped away. Mm. John, you say, Dana, what's a movie in the theater you look forward to, if any? I'm guessing you mean one coming up. What was... Oh, I'm intrigued by this one. I don't know how good of a movie it would be, but I think it was when Steve and I went to see the new Thor movie, they had a preview for... I hope I didn't just unhook my microphone. They had a preview for a movie called Smile. Have you guys seen a trailer for that one? Steve told me there was actually a longer trailer online, probably on YouTube or something, for Smile. It just looks slightly creepy and intriguing to me. John, have you seen a trailer for Smile yet? Oh, tell Jimmy I said hello as well. Well, Curly Jaws, you say, honestly, the Bye Bye Man could have been a franchise. You never know. You never know, old Curly Jaws, what will become a franchise anymore. I've been surprised by a lot of things. But yeah, again, in answer to your question, John, I guess Smile would be one that I'm intrigued. I don't know necessarily. I don't know enough about it at this point to say that I look forward to it, but I'm intrigued and it makes me want to give it a try. Steve will probably say, oh, we can watch it at home. We don't have to pay money to go see it. We actually got to watch the Thor movie in 3D through a happy chain of events, although Steve probably didn't think it was a happy chain of events because I know he had to pay extra for those 3D tickets. But if we had, watched a regular version of it, we were going to have to go much later, and Steve didn't want to do that. I did, old Curly Jaws. I did watch the trailer for Pearl, the prequel to X, and I'm kind of intrigued by that as well. Because I enjoyed X. I mean, there are always things that if I was making the movie that I would change or not have in there or whatever. But I still thought X was a decent movie, even with the porno aspect of it. I thought it had some generally creepy moments in it. Again, I'm sorry for eating. Well, I try not to eat so much when I'm doing the live streams, but sometimes, with, like I've said before, with me being diabetic, sometimes I never know when my blood sugar is going to drop. And so once I started drinking that iced coffee drink that's got some sugar in it, I quit that yawning. So that told me that the yawning was probably related to my blood sugar going down. And I don't want to have a low blood sugar spell for you guys. Um, Johnny say, did Thor really do the Van Damme triple cam roundhouse kick? I heard he did that in splits. Well, you know, he may have done the roundhouse kick. I couldn't recall the splits, though. I'm not really sure. But see, I loved the movie, but since I have had these residual things from the COVID, and I'm sorry I keep talking about the COVID. Y'all are going to get so sick of that. But since that, I find it hard to stay awake. Sometimes I feel like I've got narcolepsy or something. And I'm not making fun of anybody that has narcolepsy. I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying that I literally find myself falling asleep at certain times in the day, even when I'm supposed to be working sometimes. And I'm sorry, this is not focusing. I got kind of blurry. Maybe it'll focus here in a second. There, that's better. So there were certain points in the movie Thor where I almost caught myself dozing off. I'm like, dang, you know, a part of it's probably just me getting older, and part of it is these residual effects of COVID. X-Ray, you say, better David Hess revenge film, Last House on the Left or House on the Edge of the Park? I like both of them, but I would probably have to say Last House on the Left for me. Although, I think Steve would probably disagree with that. I mean, he would probably go with House at the Edge of the Park. But David Hess is pretty sadistic in both of them, though. But I tell you, for those of you that never got a chance to meet David Hess, I met David Hess at Cinema Wasteland when they had the Last House on the Left baddies. And this is before I knew anybody in the horror circles. So I didn't really have anybody to hang out with other than my brother and sister-in-law who took me to this convention. And David Hess was very reserved, very nice. Not nearly what you'd expect, you know, from watching his movies. But as we all know, people generally are not like the characters in movies. John, you say, I heard Christian Bale did good. He's a great actor. I agree with you on Christian Bale. And yeah, I think he did a good job. John, you say he can make anything believable. Oh, I agree with that as well. Yes, X-Ray, I have seen I Drink Your Blood. And yeah, nobody does much talk about that movie. And I think that's unfortunate because in a lot of ways I consider that a well-made horror movie. And you know what? Speaking of that, Steve actually, remember in the movie how the little boy or the young boy got upset that I don't know why they called them hippies, because they weren't really hippies. They were some kind of like cult. So, and a bunch of like really bad people for the most part. But anyway, when these people attack his sister, and I believe they rape her, the boy gets so upset that who takes rabid blood from a rabid dog that I think his grandpa or something is a vet. And so unfortunately, he gets access to rabies, and he puts it in a syringe. He puts it in the meat pies, and then these cult people come and buy the meat pies, and then the whole town pretty much, I mean, most of them get rabid. And so anyway, Steve has a fake syringe. He's still got in the package somewhere. It might be in his desk. I don't know if he's ever showed it on one of his streams or not, but it looks like it has blood in it and has that kid from the movie on the cardboard backing of it. It is great. Darren, you say, I would say House on the Edge of the Park. Hitchhike is another really underrated Hess film. Definitely. Hitchhike, I believe I saw much later than both Last House on the Left and House at the Edge of the Park. But I would definitely recommend Hitchhike as well. X-Ray, you say, I drink your blood better than the crazies. Yeah, I think, both of those films have completely different vibes. I like both of them. And am I wrong? Is Lynn Lowry in both of those movies? I want to say she was, but maybe I'm wrong. John, you say something I don't get about X or Pearl. Are we supposed to like Pearl or root for her? She's crazy as hell. Yeah, I don't know. It almost seems like she's a anti-hero of some sorts. Well, I'm hesitant to even call her that. Maybe perhaps we're supposed to be confused about how we feel about her. But she is definitely crazy as hell. X-Ray, you say, ever see Rabid Dogs by Mario Bava? Shit was baller. I want to say no, but I bet Steve has seen it because I think he's seen about all the Mario Bava films. Johnny say, I'm all for likable villains, but I see that trailer and I think, wow, she's just all bad. Yeah, I could see that too. Darren, I have not. I don't really know if I want to see it, but maybe I should just force myself to watch it. What do you think, Darren? Should I give the trailer a try? I'm just looking at the clock on the bottom corner of my computer screen, and it's about 9:30, so I'm just going to let everybody know I'll probably go or stay on this live stream until around 10ish. So you've got a good 30 minutes, unless y'all want me to get the hell out of here and end this early, which I can oblige. And Darren, you say it looks better than Halloween Kills. I thought I remembered you saying that. Maybe they will redeem themselves with this one. Maybe we'll get lucky. The last one was so horrible. I was like, what in the hell? Yeah, that last one was so bad, I wanted to go back and cleanse my movie watching palette and watch the original Halloween. John, you say same, Darren. I hope it's good. Yeah, I always hope against hope that, At some point, they will redeem themselves. Johnny said the soundtracks are the best part of the new ones. You said Carpenter and Daniel Davis do great music. I agree with that completely. Yeah, I heard that too, Darren, that there's talk of there being an imposter Michael Myers like in Friday 5. And I mean, do they really have to go that route? I mean, is that really necessary? I mean, feel free to say I'm wrong on that, but so you guys got any movies lined up to watch tonight, or are you just gonna like hit the hay when we're done here? Darren, I definitely agree. They have run out of ideas, which is probably why they should have stopped before they even did any of these films. Johnny say, yeah, I think it's an imposter or a misguided kid. I'm sure he'll go babyface and fight Michael at the end. Actually, you say, I got like a billion movies bookmarked on FlixHU. And John, you said like a fanboy kid. Sometimes I get really lazy and don't want to go get a movie off the shelf. I mean, daggone, that's really lazy when I think about it. But I'll just turn on the commercial-free Tubi, and they've got a ton of horror movies on there, and I can usually find something to watch. But I am thinking that I'll probably go with Final Exam. Because one thing, I need to rewatch it before tomorrow night. And it's not that long of a movie, and it's fun. So it might be perfect for tonight. Oh, yes, X-Ray. I totally agree with you on that. That you'd be surprised how many free, high-quality movies are on YouTube. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a lot better than it used to be. Because a few years ago, when Steve and I were doing a commentary, we were talking about, I think when we did the offerings commentary, we were talking about how many things were on YouTube even at that time. Prior to that explosion of different movies being on there, it seemed like YouTube would pull anything that was known off before anybody could really get it. You'd blink and it'd be gone. Dare you say it's so hard to pick a movie when you have thousands to pick from? Exactly. I was telling Steve this, and I've told him more than once that, it's almost we have too much. We have entertainment overload because he and I both have our movie collections. There's Tubi, there's YouTube, there's Shudder, there's Netflix, I could go on and on and on. And so it has gotten, especially in the last few years, extremely hard to pick something. So I do feel your pain there, Darren. I'm just about finished with this popcorn. You guys are both thinking, great, you'll quit crunching on that damn popcorn. I don't think CK showed up tonight, or maybe he's watching and he's not in the chat. But I'm hoping that he may return at some point, because I always like seeing CK and Uncle Bill in here. as well as all the rest of you guys. Um, I was hoping maybe, not that I don't like guys being in here, but I was kind of hoping when I sent the invites out to my new Facebook page for Deadites on Deck that maybe it would get some ladies in here. Because I would like to have a mixture of guys and gals in here um, to talk horror movies or whatever we're talking about on a particular night. Texas, you say I would sit at my computer for 2 hours trying to find something on Netflix and pass out. Exactly. See, that's sometimes that happens to me that I'll just doze off and the remote will fall on the floor or something. And since we got that vinyl flooring that looks like hardwood flooring, that'll scare the shit out of you if you drop a remote on that floor. Darren, you say, how many films you got in your collection you haven't watched? I've lost count. I mean, I don't think there's so many that I've lost count. But there are several. I mean, maybe a handful. I looked one time and there were movies I hadn't even taken the shrink wrap off. And they were generally those ones that I'd gotten real cheap, like at Big Lots or something. And I just hadn't gotten around to opening them. Which seems, it just enhances how crazy my movie buying is at times. John, you say, do you find that you'll see a movie then buy it immediately after only to not watch it for a year or so? It's a sickness, is Clay. Oh, it's definitely a sickness. John, and I have caught myself doing that. And also, how many of you guys have so many movies that sometimes you forget what you bought and what you haven't? I bought another 48 Hours twice on Blu-ray. It's like, damn, Dana, what in the world? So then after that, I was like, thankfully I didn't pay too much for it. So after that, I thought, I gotta get all my movies into some kind of electronic database so this doesn't happen again. Something on my phone that I could bring up when I'm in the store or ordering something online even, so I don't buy the same movies. Texas, you say it's a better drug addiction than actual drugs, though. Oh, yeah, there's no comparison there. Whoops. Hot popcorn on the floor. So, guys, do you want me to keep going till around 10, or are you getting bored? Do you want me to end it? Or do y'all have more questions for me? Or more, comments? Whatnot? I used to hate the word whatnot, by the way. But now I catch myself using it. Oh, good Lord, Texas. Whew. Would you really want to listen to my loud mouth for another 5 hours? I don't think you really would. Then you would be getting to feel like poor Steve, who has to put up with me every day of his life. And Darren, you say, I'm trying to buy quality over quantity now, depending on how many times a year I will watch something. Yeah, I think most movie fans have to do that at some point to get to that quality over quantity, because we get to a point where either A, we can't afford every release that comes out, or two, we just don't have the space, or three, both of those things are in effect. John, you say, haha, yeah, I have 3 copies of Over the Top on VHS by accident. John, you say, I bought the Ghost of Mars soundtrack twice, but sold the other copy. Now, if you can manage to sell it, it doesn't turn out to be too bad. But then on the other hand, if you can't sell it, sell the extra copies, and it's like, geez, I wish I hadn't done that. Speaking of selling stuff, this is kind of off the topic of horror, but what John said about selling something got me thinking about it. I don't know how many of you guys sell on eBay versus buying. But I guess I do an equal amount of buying and selling. Now I do more selling, it seems like, in the last year or so. But anyway, this guy got the winning bid on an Echo device and one of those Google smart thermostats. I had it up there for $100 for both of them, which I think is a deal, because the thermostat alone new is over $100. But anyway, the guy, instead of paying me almost immediately like most people do, he still hasn't paid me. I told Steve, I said, I'm giving the guy 3 more days, and then I can file a non-paying bidder status. I don't think that's going to mean that eBay's going to pay me the money. And I'm going to just have to end up relisting the thing. But it's like, guys, come on. I want to tell these people, don't jerk my chain. It's not like I'm desperate for the $100, but I was kind of looking forward to having a little extra money. And then it seems like this guy's going to screw me and just not pay me. He's not going to get the product because I never send anything out unless I get paid first. But, that's just a little side note. And Dirk, you say, I just purged my collection. I gave about 40 blues to my ex-daughter-in-law from my grandson. Mainly Marvel crap my son won't watch, and a bunch of studio releases I've upgraded. Darren, you say, I keep saying to myself to sell stuff and then buy with the proceeds. Never happens, so I guess I'm lazy. I get that way too, because Steve keeps telling me, he's like, you're getting rid of some, Blu-rays when you switch over to 4K and all that. He says, you need to put them on eBay and make a little money. And I guess I get in that lazy zone, and I just don't feel like putting the stuff up on eBay. And Darren, you say, also, if the DVD has different extras, I usually keep as well as a Blu-ray. Exactly. I do that too. And Steve looks at me like I flipped my lid. So I'm glad to know that there's other people that do that. John, you say, I sold all my toys on eBay 2 years ago. I don't now, but it's good if you price right and do buy it now. Yeah, I've noticed that, like, with some Blu-rays that I sold, if I put the buy it now option and put the price pretty reasonable, then people will buy them. But generally, a lot of the like non-special editions and stuff, people only want to give you about $5 for them, and that's Blu-rays. But if you get where you're desperate to get rid of them so you can have more space, you start selling them for $5 out of necessity, essentially. John, you say, eBay can really be aggravating. I found a screener VHS for The Vagrant a few years back, and the seller removed the listing. Never responded. I kept offering more money. No replies. Yeah, on the other side of the coin, sometimes the sellers can be assholes. And I don't know why you're going to put something on eBay and then pull it off at the last second and remove the listing. I don't know really what purpose that serves other than to be an asshole and cause people headaches. Dare you say eBay got to get their 15%. Texas, you say, I was thinking of selling all my slips $1 million a piece. Believe it or not, Texas, you might get that. Might be some people crazy enough to buy them for that price. Darren, you say, John, they do that to work out how much they're worth. Interesting. I didn't ever think of it that way, Darren. So have you guys thought about your weekend yet? I mean, I know we're only at Tuesday. You might be thinking, geez, Louise, damn. But I would imagine this weekend I'm going to finish putting that wardrobe together. Hopefully with Steve helping some. I didn't know if anybody else had any big plans. Dirk, you say, it's funny how eBay is the price guide for out of print. Okay, I got another question for you guys. If you could get one big box horror VHS, what would that be? If money was no object or anything like that. I'm just curious about that. Texas, I'd love to hear what you think about Nope, because I would have to say nope, I'm not going to go see it. So anybody got any responses to the big box horror VHS? There are probably several I could think of, and some of them I actually had, I guess you would call the VHS of Hospital Massacre I had, or AKA X-Ray, a big box. I have one of those. The Gates of Hell would have been a great big box. I was thinking Steve actually had one of those that was kind of disintegrating. Doug, you said, what's the sequel going to be? Yep. Probably. Dirk, you said, I'd love to have that Hellraiser set. Can't remember the name, but it's pricey. John, you say, I'm going to go to StarCast and Ric Flair's last match. I think it's about 30 minutes from my house at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Heck yeah. If it's that close, I don't blame you. Darren, you say, think I've got most of the VHS I want. The TCM Pre-Cert is one of my faves. I got a clamshell for Clash Reunion Massacre I love. I was thinking I actually had a big box for Clash Reunion Massacre at one time, and sadly I don't know what's happened to it now. Texas, you say, I'd still have my Comet Blood Feast somewhere. Well, that's awesome too. I mean, but, if space was no object, some of those really huge big box VHS from the past, if you had a place to store those, can you imagine? I would love to put several of those types of VHS on display somewhere, but you know, as small as our house is, I couldn't see that happening. Oh, we got about 10 more minutes here. If anybody wants to bring up any more stuff or ask me any other questions, and also if you like this Q&A, I might wait a little while and do like a second Q&A. Um, if you guys would be interested in that. Also, I believe in August, the first Sunday in August, we're going to have I believe it's the Pieces watch along, so you guys can look forward to that. Um, Cheese Extreme Wednesday is tomorrow night, starting at 8 p.m., where I'm going to talk about Final Exam in the Forest. Oh, yeah, John. You say I'd love a sealed Halloween media blaster or a sealed Wizard video Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Definitely. Those would both be awesome. Darren, you say I would love to display all my collection. I got over 200 original posters stored. Yeah, like if we had unlimited space and stuff, imagine what we could do. Um, but I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when Darren was talking about displaying his posters, that made me think of I'm not like I'm not one of those housewives that has to like have everything look, normal, so to speak. Like in your living room and stuff like that. I wouldn't have a problem with horror stuff being in my living room or my kitchen or even, dare I say it, my bedroom. But Steve thinks it's tacky to have horror movie stuff displayed in the living room. So the few times that I've had like NECA figures and some of these figures in the boxes that I've gotten from Screen Factory or something like that, or Funko Pop figures, he never likes me displaying them in the living room very long. He's like, can we move those to the back room? And I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it real quickly again. One time we were at a convention, and I was walking around looking at stuff, and I was walking around with Candace. And Steve was like talking to the guys or something, and me and Candace were walking around looking at stuff. And there was a vendor there that had these wax dipped scented teddy bears, but they were horror teddy bears. Like some of them would have like a board going through their head, or maybe nails going through their head or something. But I just thought they were so neat, and they smelled good too. And they had them in these little, I don't know if it was glass or plastic. I don't think it was glass, but these boxes that covered them kind of to help it retain its scent. And I think they were about $50, but they were so cool. And one of the ladies that was selling them said that she would hold on to one for me if I wanted to, if I had a certain one that I wanted to get and I was going to come back and buy it. I didn't have her hold it for me because I didn't really know if I was going to or not. But then I went and was talking to Steve about it, and he said, you can get one, but you're not putting that in the living room. And so I was like, well, what am I going to do with it? I just hate to put everything back here because nobody really goes back here other than me and Steve. And so I kind of like to show off my stuff. I'm not ashamed of it. I feel almost like he's ashamed of his horror collecting or something like that. I don't know what the deal is. But needless to say, I didn't get one of the wax dipped bears. And now I've never seen these ladies at any other convention. So, missed opportunity there, guys. Darren, you say you need a warehouse. Yeah, don't we all? You say, I got 2 UK quad posters hanging in my living room and 2 shelves of Blu-rays. See, you don't have a problem with posters in your living room. John, you say, will Steve do a Saturday show again in a few weeks or maybe take a long break? John, I really can't say. He hasn't told me when he plans on coming back. I mean, I'm pretty sure he will come back. I don't want to speak too much for him. But I just honestly, I can't say when he will be coming back. I may um, I may do something this Saturday. You guys may be bored of me by then, but just to like fill in the void there. But if I do something on Saturday, of course, I'll try to advertise in time. But if I do it, it will be on my channel, the Deadites on Deck channel. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, I will advertise it on the Deadites on Deck Facebook page that I've created. And again, the link should be in the description for this video if you guys are interested in liking the page so you can keep track of what I'm doing or what I'm planning on doing and all that. I know that was kind of a long answer to your question, John. Sorry about that. John, you say I understand either way. It's good for breaks. Yeah, no, I think really Steve is saving himself from burnout because I think he was headed to Burnout City if he didn't do this break. Dirk, you say had to look up the Scarlet Hellraiser box. Oh yeah, that's an awesome set. I actually have the UK puzzle box DVD set, and I also have the UK Phantasm original Sphere set with DVDs, and I had it signed by most of the cast of Phantasm. So it's part of my prize collection. You can't see it, but it's actually on one of my shelves, my Blu-ray shelves in back of me. So guys, it's almost 10 o'clock. So I'm going to remind you that I've got Cheese Extreme Wednesday coming up tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be talking about Final Exam in the Forest. I'm going to try to do something on Saturday to kind of fill that time slot for Steve, so that you guys won't feel neglected. and I'm sure I'll have more Cheese Extreme Wednesdays and stuff like that in between. And we also, the first Sunday in August, have the Pieces Watch Along that I will probably start at about 6 p.m. so that we can, get done early enough so that people that have to go to work on Monday are not too awfully tired. And again, I do apologize to Darren because the time differential is really great between us and the UK. So hopefully it will work out though, so he can participate in the watch along with us. Yes, Darren, I can advertise on my own, which is ultimately what I wanted to do. And again, I don't have a problem with any of you guys coming on there and posting stuff if you want to. I know Dirk is doing some things. So Dirk, if you want to advertise on my Deadites on Deck Facebook page, that is awesome. If any of the rest of you guys want to do that, I mean, if you even if you're going to be on somebody else's stream or somebody else's podcast and you just want to let everybody know, that is cool as well. Yeah, I hope it builds up the channel, but I have a pretty good support system right now. I was saying earlier, I hate to call it like fans or fan base. because it's not like I'm a celebrity or anything. But, you know, you guys are like my support system for wanting to keep doing this stuff, because that's really what keeps me going. If I didn't have any viewers or supporters, then who would I do this for? Um, Dirk, say, well, y'all have a good one, and if you can't find uh, a good, just remember she'll do for the night. uh, oh, well, you're welcome, Dirk. I mean, you guys have supported me so much. That's the least I can do is offer you an outlet to, you know, be able to promote your stuff. You have a good night too, Darren and John. Uh, oh, thank you, Texas. You guys are all amazing, and thank you for hanging out with me for a couple of hours. And as always, I'm going to skedaddle on out of here, and I will see everybody on the flip side.